Hey guys, good morning. Let's talk about Medicare Part D in this video. I want to explain what it is, how it works, and if you're par or non-par with Medicare, what that means for you when somebody comes in with a Medicare Advantage plan. So let me share my screen. I'm going to show you the resources we're going to use to research it. So Medicare.gov, Medicare Advantage Plans. Now, this is stuff that I had no idea about until I started looking into it. Medicare, obviously, like Medicare Part A and Part B. Part A covers hospitalization, Part B covers outpatient physical therapy, but Medicare Advantage is actually Medicare Part C, and I did not realize that before. Medicare Part D covers drug prescriptions, and then there's more after that, but we're just sticking with Medicare Part C, which is the Medicare Advantage program. There's different types of Medicare Advantage. There's HMOs, PPOs, fee-for-service, special needs, Medicare savings accounts. But what's interesting is you have to understand that while this is still part of the federal Medicare program, the Medicare Advantage plans are covered by non-Medicare companies. So in other words, let me bring this in here. If I receive a patient referral for a new patient, they come in and they tell me, well, I have Medicare, right? It's not unusual that they'll even give me that traditional Medicare card. And then they'll give me a Medicare Advantage plan as what they're calling a secondary. Now, it's not a secondary at all. A Medicare Advantage plan is a comprehensive plan. It's an all-inclusive plan. So what that means is that you cannot have concurrent traditional Medicare and Medicare Advantage. You can only have one or the other. Medicare Advantage typically includes Medicare Part A, Part B, and some plans offer some drug coverage. You cannot have a Medigap or a supplemental plan when you have a Medicare Advantage plan. And at least in my area, now it varies by state and by company. And, Blue Cross Blue Shield has Medicare Advantage, and Humana and Aetna, MedMutual, and there's just a host of companies that offer Medicare Advantage plans, but they're all just a little bit different. So while Medicare Part B, traditional Medicare Part B, the beneficiary typically has a monthly premium that they're paying. With a Medicare Advantage plan, if it's an HMO policy, they may be paying no monthly premium because traditional Medicare is paying this company essentially to take over the coverage for this beneficiary. With an HMO plan, they may have no out-of-network coverage. So regardless of whether you're credentialed with traditional Medicare, that does not mean that there's coverage for you with a Medicare Advantage plan if you're not specifically covered or credentialed with that company. And more importantly, you might have to be specifically credentialed with that plan. We are in network with Blue Cross Blue Shield here in Ohio, but we're not credentialed with all of their Medicare Advantage plans. So these are just little things for you to be aware of when you're treating that Medicare beneficiary for the first time and you don't know what their coverage is, because quite often the beneficiary is just as confused as the provider. So understand that it's not like traditional Medicare when there's a Medigap supplemental policy, and because you are in the Medicare provider network, you're credentialed with Medicare, you're par or non-par, when that claim gets processed and it goes to the Medigap or the supplemental plan, you get paid based on the Medicare allowed amount. It's not like that. Medicare Advantage, essentially, I think of it personally as separate from Medicare. Although it is a Medicare plan, it is Part C, I still have to be credentialed with a company that is selling that policy to the beneficiary. I have to be credentialed specifically within that plan. I have to understand the regulations of that plan. While most follow the Medicare fee schedule, all don't. And those plans could have their own individual coinsurance or copays. Here in Ohio, quite often, Medicare Advantage plans have a $40 or $45 copay per visit. So if you see a patient for 4 units, that patient's responsible for their copay, a flat dollar amount. If you see them for 6 units, it's the same copay. If you see them for 8 units, it's the same copay. I want you to understand that copay is a flat dollar amount. Coinsurance is a percentage of the allowed amount. And so those two are very different. And as a physical therapist, speech therapist, occupational therapist, it's very difficult for you to create an appropriate plan of care for your patient if you don't fully understand the financial responsibility that goes along with that plan of care. So I hope that sheds some light on what Medicare Advantage plans actually are. And if you're looking for more information, I'll post this in the show notes. Go to medicare.gov. This is the consumer-facing website of the federal Medicare plan. It explains just about everything. But it'll take you through what a Medicare Advantage plan is, how a beneficiary would join, what the rules are related to these plans. It's really a handy tool. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.